just getting used to. I'm used to being in public, but I didn't know in my life, I didn't know I was going to wind up having a book. You know, it's not something I planned. Oh, I'm gonna, you know, but it's here, and this is the this is probably the fourth, or maybe the fourth or fifth time that I've had an audience of people in front of me, and I really, really am grateful. I'm grateful for you thinking about me and for coming out, and I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to have fresh, clean water to drink and good food to eat. And I'm grateful to be healthy and free. That's why when I'm on the radio every night, I say the same thing when I'm on the radio. When I sign off at night, I say to the audience, I say, be nice to each other and good to yourself. Nothing's more precious than freedom and health. And that's a little thing I made up years ago. Yeah. Joe and I were part of an exhibit a couple of years ago at the Brooklyn Historical Society that featured 9 Vietnam, with 9 of us, right? It featured 9 Vietnam veterans from Brooklyn who served in Vietnam. And this exhibit was at the Brooklyn Historical Society down in Brooklyn Heights, downtown Brooklyn. And just to give you a little bit of, well, first of all, Long Island begins in Brooklyn. But to give you a little bit of history about that particular building, the Brooklyn Historical Society is a huge red stone, like a brownstone building. And it's 3 stories high, it's huge, and it was built at the turn of the century. And, well, you know, everything in New York City is big. But when you're outside of this building, when you stand on the sidewalk and you look up, the original lettering doesn't say the Brooklyn Historical Society. It says the Long Island Historical Society. That's what it says in that building. If you go down there right now, that big building. So we were part of an exhibit that lasted a couple of years, and the exhibit featured, there were installations of each one of us. And there were like 6-foot portraits of each one of us, along with a presentation that was done by putting your feet on this step, on these footsteps, and there was a microphone above that had a vignette about our experience in Vietnam, as well as a showcase with some photographs and some items from Vietnam. And so I haven't seen this. So last time I saw Joe was the grand opening.
We were at the mayor's mansion.
At the mayor's mansion.
Yeah, one of the veterans days.
Did you take a picture with the mayor?
Yes.
Then you're in that picture.
Yes.
I have a copy. It took them about 1.5 years to send a copy, right?
Yes.
We finally got it. Anyway, I'd like to share with you. Please come in.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. I'm happy to see you.
Are all the seats free?
Oh, they're all free, yes. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you all for coming. Don't feel bad about being late. I'm happy to be. I hope some more people come in late. But you're not late. I'd like to share with you the story about this photograph on the cover of this book. I took this photograph in the summer of 2010, and this building here on the left, this building is 671 Willoughby Avenue, where my father was the super of this building. We moved into this building in 1953 when I was 3, and we lived in the cellar. This building here is called the Gold Manor. This is the Gold Manor, and this was a Jewish catering hall where Jewish people used to get married and have bar mitzvahs and stuff. And this alley separated the 2 buildings. Our apartment was in the cellar of this building, and all of our windows faced the back, except for the bathroom window, which faced the alley. What I wanted to tell you about this is this. I took this photograph in the summer of 2010 when I was putting the book together. And that was the first time that I'd been in this alley since 1961. Now, I've driven through the block on several occasions, but the building into the cellar, and of course the coal bins and everything are gone because the building isn't heated by coal anymore. And the apartment that we had in the back was all gutted. It was a 2-bedroom little apartment in the back. And but what happened was when I went into the cellar, I walked through it. I walked into the back, and I looked, and I could see the demarcations on the floor where the rooms were at one time. And I saw the area that marked off my mother and my father's bedroom where they used to sleep. And I said to myself, I said, that's where my brother Don was conceived. You know, because he was born in 1956, in December 56. But what overwhelmed me about being in the cellar that day is knowing that I was in a place where so many things had happened, so many memories, and I was in a place that I didn't expect to come in, and here I was in the cellar of this building, knowing that my mother and father are long dead, my poor sister Kathy dead, and not only that, but knowing that nobody else in my family knows that I'm in the cellar. And I stood there for about 10 minutes just absorbing and feeling the silence and remembering all the things and all the stuff that happened. And then when I came out of the cellar, I came out into the alley, and I looked up, and I had a little camera with me, and I took that picture. I took this photograph. One of the reasons I named the book Deep Down in Brooklyn, 2 basic reasons. One of the reasons is because when you live in the cellar of a building, especially of an apartment building, in a rural big city like Brooklyn, when you live in the cellar, you can't get much deeper than that. And the other reason I wrote it is because it's a story that's largely been untold in the detail that I tell the story. There have been many stories written about Brooklyn, about the urban things that we did as children, about the uniqueness of living in the city and the games we played and stuff like that, and the Ring-a-Lee-Yo and the Johnny on the Pony and playing Skelly and stickball. That stuff has been done a million times. It's in here. But the story is a deep story because it's about a deep chapter of urban life during the black migration from the South in the mid-20th century. So we were the first black family. Hello, come on in. We were the first black family on this block in 1953. There were other black individuals living on the block, but we were the first black family unit, and we were the first black children on this block. And all of our first friends were Jewish kids. What was so nice about putting this book together is that what was so much fun and so thrilling to do in putting this book together was gathering the photographs that I put in the book, and researching and finding them and coming across things that I never thought I'd come across. And the book has 175 photographs in it. 175 photographs. Some of them are family photographs. Some of them are photographs that I took with my own camera, and the rest are and some of them are photographs that guys I got in touch with who served with me in Vietnam, finally they sent me, and some of the photographs